Hello, good people. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you back to Brands Academy, where learning is made easy. In our today's session, I want us to touch still on the part of creative art and sport, grade 9, some part of the revision paper, and it's a revision paper that most of the learners in the country did in their end term exam. So let's see how the learners were supposed to tackle the questions. Remember, in creative art, it's not about just choosing the answer. It's about placing each answer in its correct position for you to come up with the correct answer, because all the answers are correct, but you have to select the best one. So let's see how the learners were supposed to attend to the questions. Question 1. Grade 9 learners were asked to identify the time signature of a piece of music. What does the top number of a time signature indicate? So when you talk about the top number, remember you have the top number and the bottom number. So let's go to the multiple choices. We see which multiple choice is correct. Part A, the tempo of the music. When you talk about the tempo of the music, we are talking about the speed at which a piece of music is written in. Then part B, the number of beats in each bar. So that's the correct. The top number indicates the number of beats in each bar. If it's 2/4, it means that in each bar we are going to have 2 beats of a crochet. Part C, the note value that receives 1 beat, that one we talk about the bottom number, that number 4, which is a crochet. So it indicates the note value that receives 1 beat, which is a crochet. Then part D, the scale in which the piece is played. When we talk about the scale in which the piece of music is played in, we are talking about the key, or you can talk about the key signature. It is the key signature that will give you the scale in which the piece of music is played in. Question number 2. A grade 9 learner wrote the following list of dynamics markings. Which of the following dynamics shows that music is performed very loud? So very loud, grade 9 work. When you talk about PP, we are talking about very soft. MP, we talk about moderately soft. When you talk about F, we talk about forte, loud. When you talk about FF, we talk about very loud, very loud. Also, under the dynamics, the learners are supposed to know the meaning of those abbreviations, Question number 3. Before question number 3, on that question number 2, can you write for me the full meaning of PP, the full meaning of MP, the full meaning of F, and the full meaning of FF under the comment section? We see if we are together on this. Thank you. So question number 3, in a verse, the repetition of the same consonant sound at the beginning of words that are close to each other is known as, so we talk about a verse, that is alliteration. So we have rhyme, we have metaphor, and we have assonance. So you have to know what those stands for. Question 4. When composing a melody on the bass staff using the F major scale, a grade 9 learner moved from the note F to the note A. Which interval did he use? Remember, when we talk about intervals, we name intervals according to the letter names that we have been given. So if you write the scale of F major, it's F to F. So if you move from F, A, it's F, G, A. So those are 3 letter names. So we are talking about a major third. We're talking about a major third. And you find that you will find that a major third has 4 semitones. A major third has 4 semitones. From F to G, it is a full tone which has got 2 semitones. From G to A, it is a full tone which has got 2 semitones. If you add, you get it is 4 semitones. So A major third, it has got 4 semitones. A minor third has got 3 semitones. It is less by 1. I hope up to there we are together. If you have any other query on the interval, let me know under the question, under the comment section. I will try to elaborate more on it on your comment. Question number 5. Which of the following provides a resolution ending of a melody that is do? Do will provide a resolution ending the beginning or the end, because remember we have do down and do up. So it always provides a resolution ending, and it also gives a beginning of a beginning resolution. Question number 6. Study the following melody. Identify the scale applied when composing it. So here we have, if you check on the key, we have been given a flat 1. So the scale is exactly F major. F major. G major scale has got 1 accidental, which is a sharp on letter F. C major has got no accidental. A major has got 2 accidentals, which are flats. Question 7. Identify the name of the accidental used in the melody of question number 6 above. We have answered that is a flat. It is a flat. Question 8. Grade 9 learners performed a song in praise of our country, Kenya, during the Mashujaa Day celebration. Which of the following is a type of song that they performed? Remember, we are it's about Mashujaa Day, so it's about patriotic song. It's sung about the Kenya patriotic song. Topical song, it's a song touching on a certain issue. For example, we talk about PCI, pertinent and contemporary issues. For example, you want to talk about, let's say, recently we had a disease called Ebola. You want to address an issue of Ebola to the community. So you start composing a song. So the song will give it a topic, Ebola. So that's a topical question. A sacred song, we are talking about maybe you are praising God. Then we have the folk song. These are traditional, indigenous songs that we learn in our syllabus. Question 9. When performing the Yonoto song from the Maasai community, the performers put on the Maasai shukas and beaded jewelry on their necks, around the head, on their wrist, and their waist. What is the name given to the beaded jewelry in this contest? So here we talk about we are talking about ornaments. Ornaments are put on. When you talk about costumes, we are talking about the Maasai shukas. When you talk about the adornments, we talk about those that we use to apply on our bodies. For example, the colors that we use to apply on our bodies, those are the adornments. Unapata wamejipaka kwa uso, different color to resemble different theme. Then we talk about props. Props, we can talk about maybe on their stage wanatumia kiti, or in their hands they are holding some rungus. So those are the props that they are using. So get the difference between props, costumes, ornaments, and adornments. And I hope I have explained and elaborated on it there. Question number 10. When playing a wind instrument, a grade 9 learner observed that the finger holes were too small, thus the sound produced was not desirable. Which of the following is the best action the learner should take? Remember here, when playing a wind instrument. So, a wind instrument, what are we going to do? How do we tune wind instruments? Because you can't improvise another instrument, you are already playing it, then using a carving knife, no, you will destroy it. So you place the wind instrument directly under the sun for the holes to expand, then you are tuning it. Because remember, the problem was that the holes were too small. So we have to expand the holes, and we expand those holes by placing the wind instrument directly under the sun for the holes to expand. Question 11. The musical instrument below belongs to a family of string instruments. So remember, it is an indigenous instrument. So identify the category of instruments that the instrument above belongs to. So we talk about fiddles. Fiddles are those instruments that have got one or two strings. When you talk about harps, we talked about six and more. When you talk six, 3 to 6. When you talk about lyres, we talk about 6 to 8 strings. Question number 12. The instrument above is played by, so you can see under the instrument we have a bow. So the method of or the technique is bowing. Question number 13. When writing a verse, Nema used the following line as her title: Books that speak words of wisdom. Which of the following is a language style that she applied? Remember, the books are being given that characteristics of a human being to speak. So in English, that language we talk about personification, or in Kiswahili we'll talk about tashhisi ama uhaishaji. Tashhisi ama uhaishaji. Question number 14. Under the spot, the figure below shows a certain skill in volleyball. Identify the volleyball skill shown above. So that one is volleying skill. Question 15. What is the total number of players allowed in the playing court in a game of volleyball? So we talk about 12 players. Remember, they are not specific a team also, it's general. So we are talking about all the teams, so it is 12 players. Question 16. During a game of netball, Stacy received a ball that had been passed through using the overhead pass. She jumped and hit the ground with one foot. This is a netball skill known as landing. We talk about landing. We have single foot landing and double foot landing. So the skill that was used here was single foot landing. Question 17. Which of the following is not a rugby playing skill? So in rugby, we use the basic pass, we use pop pass, we use drop kick, and we don't use dribbling in rugby. So the correct answer was C. Which of the following games is not a contact game? So netball is not a contact game. You are not supposed to come into contact with a netball player who is having the ball. It will be a foul. Question 19. Alana performed the skills below in a basketball game. The skill above is performed in order to, so that is dribbling in basketball. Remember, we have low dribbling and high dribbling. So the skill being demonstrated here is low dribbling. So the skill is performed in order to progress with the ball and advance across the court. You progress with the ball and advance across the court. When you talk about pass the ball to a teammate who is distant away, you are using the overhead pass. To score points, there you are using maybe shooting skills. Then pass the ball to a teammate who is close, you are talking about chest pass skill. Question 20. The name of the basketball skill being that one I have already answered, it is a low dribble. 21. During athletics competition, Kiplimo participated in the 1500-meter race. Which type of race did he engage in? So that is a middle distance race, grade 8 work. 22. Study the following picture and answer the questions that follow. When is the skill above executed in athletics? So this one, it is used in sprint races, at the start of sprint races. Question 23. An official who enforces rules and integrity in a game of netball is known as, so we talk about an umpire is an official who enforces rules and integrity in game of netball, an umpire. Remember, we have an umpire or a referee. Question 24. Which of the following is an activity that demonstrates reaction time in sports? Reaction time in sports. So we talk about sprint starts. Sprint starts. Sprint starts will demonstrate reaction time. Question number 25. Which of the following shows the spirit of sportsmanship in sporting activity? So remember, when we talk about sportsman, we have the sportsmanship and we have fair play. Fair play, we are talking about how the players are following the rules of the game. Then when we talk about sportsmanship, how the players are relating with each other in the field. So here we talk about respecting opponents, officials, and accepting results. That is sportsmanship. 26. The last phase in a triple jump is, so the last phase is landing. The first one is approach run. Then we have takeoff. Under takeoff, we have the three phases where we have the hop, step, and jump. Then we have the flight. Then we have the, so under the flight is where we have the takeoff, then we are in flight, then we have the landing. So the correct answer was landing phase. Grade 9 learners were executing the hop, step, and jump phase in the triple jump. Which of the following is a fall they should avoid? So here, they should avoid landing on the opposite foot in the hop phase. So under the hop phase, they step on the same foot in the hop phase and land on the same foot. Question number 28. The reason why the javelin implement is streamlined in nature is it is to reduce air resistance during flight. To reduce air resistance during flight. Question 29. That is visual art. The following are decorative techniques used in pottery items. Which technique involves scratching, carving or cutting lines and patterns into the items using a sharp tool before the clay dries? So we talk about incising. So can you tell me the meaning of burnishing technique, stamping technique, and glazing technique? That is grade 6 work. Grade 6 work. Let's go to question number 30. It's talking about during a painting lesson, a teacher asked his learners to mix water and paint. Which of the following is a painting technique that the learners were learning about? So we talk about wash technique, that is in grade 8 and grade 5. Wash technique. So also in grade 8, we talk about splattering technique. We have damping technique, brush stroke technique, that is in grade 6. So damping technique, grade 5 and grade 8. Wash technique, the same, and splattering technique. So can you also elaborate to us the meaning of splattering technique? I have told you it's grade 8 work. Brush stroke technique, grade 6 work, and damping technique, grade 8 work. Thank you. Question 31. Which of the following is a conducive condition for drying items made using the pottery technique? So that's grade 9 work and grade 6 work under the pottery. So we dry them under a shade to avoid them cracking under a shade. Question 32. Identify the picture making technique applied to create the pictorial composition above. So the technique that has been used here, you can see we have the cross hatching, where crosses have been used, the cross hatching technique. Question 33. Which of the following color combination represents a set of analogous colors? A set of analogous colors. Remember, analogous colors are those colors that are adjacent to each other. They are adjacent to each other on a color wheel. So we have blue, green, and green. Blue, green, and green, part A. Question 34. Grade 9 learners mixed red and blue colors in equal proportions. The resultant color was, so we talk about red and blue, we're talking about mixing two primary colors to come up with a secondary color, which is purple. You get a purple color. Then we have question number 35. Mokaya was planning to create a mosaic pictorial composition. He collected the following materials. Which one was not needed in the activity? So under the mosaic, uh, we use small stones because remember it is a monomedia composition. So we are going to use small stones. We use banana fibers. We can use broken glass, but we don't use colored pictures. Where we are using pictures, it's about montage. Remember, under the section B, we have that question that is touching on the definition or difference between montage and collage. There, I'll elaborate more on it, on how learners are supposed to tackle a question like that. So the correct answer was part A. Question number 36. Which of the following image displays a 3D artwork? Remember, in art, we have the 2D and 3D. Now, how will you tell a 2D from a 3D artwork? A 2D artwork, learner check on the length and width, where you can see two parts of that art, the length and the width. When you talk about a 3D, it has three faces. We have length, we have width, and we have height. I hope there we are together, learners. You check under the 2D, we have two faces, length and width, or length and height. But when we talk about 3D, we have three faces, that is length, width, and height. So under the artwork that we are given, you find that a 3D artwork was part C. Part C was a 3D artwork. The remaining art was 2D, where we have length and width. Question number 38. The principle of making one element in a drawing to visually stand out. Underline that part. Stand out more than others is known as. So we are talking about dominance. Dominance. Question number 39. The viewpoint of a photograph taken at eye level, underline at eye level, that mimics the natural human vision is known as the, so you're talking about the normal viewpoint at eye level. And the last question under section A, it's about question 40. The fabric decoration technique that involves applying ink through a cut-out template, underline that part, to create beautiful designs on fabric is known as, so we talk about stencil printing, grade 8 work. Applique technique, that's grade 5 work. Block printing, grade 6 work. And motif printing, it is together with stencil printing. So motif is inside the stencil printing, grade 8 work. Can you define for me what is block printing, motif printing, and applique printing, please, under the comment section? So that's all about section A and how the learners were supposed to or are supposed to tackle the questions. This paper is good for grade 9 revision as they gear towards their final exam come third term. Okay, section B of this revision paper, it's about the structured and analysis questions. That is part 1, performing arts. So the instructions are that answer all questions in this part, but remember we have that. So the questions that the learner is supposed to answer all of them is this part of performing arts. So let's start with the question number 41. It's talking about on the space provided below, draw the grand stave and indicate the position of the middle of a grand staff. And some of the components of a grand staff, we have the two staffs, that's the treble and the bass clef. We have the brace connecting the two staffs. We have middle C. We have double bar lines. We also have the 5 lines and 4 spaces on both staffs. So those are the components that the learner is supposed to include in their staff or stave when they have drawn it. As you can see on your screen, I have displayed it there. So under the brace, we have the 1 mark, the 2 staffs, that is 2 marks, middle C, 1 mark. We have the 2 staffs, that is 5 lines and 4 spaces in each, that is 2 marks. Remember, the brace is 2 marks. So at the end, you come up with 8 marks. Those are the marking points. So remember, you also name the lines and the staff and the spaces using the letter names so that we can see where middle C is. Question number 42. Briefly highlight 2-note extension applied in music. So we have a tie. A tie, it connects 2 notes having the same pitch and making it long. A tie connects 2 notes of the same pitch, making it long. Then a dot, it extends the duration of the note by a half. A dot extends the duration of the note by a half. Question number 43. For the following note values, provide corresponding rest and French rhythm names. There we have 6 marks. So part A, that is the name of that note, is a crochet. So the symbol of a crochet, as you can see, it faces on your right side. Then we have that takes the shape of letter 3. That's the rest. And the rest for a quiver, it faces on your left. It faces on your left, as you can see. Then the rest for a minimum, it faces up. It faces up. The one that faces down is that one for a semi-brief. Then the French rhythm name for a crochet is ta. The for a quiver is ta, just one. Then for a minimum is ta. It has 2 beats. Question number 44. Name a folk song, name a folk dance that originates from the coastal communities. So here it's about grade 8 work, the folk dance. We have the Gonda dance, we have Ndwele dance, and we have Chakacha dance. Part B, mention 2 occasions for the performance of the folk dance named above. So those folk dance can be performed during harvest festival. We have also initiation ceremonies. They can be performed during wedding or marriage ceremonies. We have religious functions and funeral ceremonies. Question number C. Who are the key performers or participants of the folk dance named above? Remember here, this question can confuse learners. They end up talking about the instrumentalist, soloist. So those are not the correct answer. When you talk about the folk dance, we talk about adults. It can be performed by adults. It can be performed by all ages or youth. So those are the answers that are supposed to be written there. The last part, name 2 instruments that accompany the performance of the folk dance named above. So here some of the instruments, remember the instrument must be from the coastal region. The instrument must be from the coastal region. We have chapuo, we have msondo, and we have kengele. Those are some of the instruments that will accompany the named folk dance. So part 2 is the part of sport, and the first question under question number 45 is, on the space provided below, sketch the volleyball playing court. So if we sketch the volleyball playing court, we have to come up with the dimension. So the length of the court is 18 meter. We have the width is 9 meter. Then we have the center line. After the center line, we divide the part on your right into two. We have the back court and we have the front court. Also, the part from the center line going on your left, we also divide it into two so that we can come up with back court and front court. Then you can name the service zone. You name the sideline and you name the end line. Then you can position the players on how they are supposed to position themselves at the start of the volleyball game. Part B, mention two ways of scoring points in a game of volleyball. One of the way is we have when ball is played and it touches the opponent's court or ground, or when we have unsuccessful service by the opponent, or we have rotational fault. You are taking a service and you are supposed to rotate and you fail to rotate, so the point will be awarded to your opponent and the service. So those are some of the ways scoring points in a game of volleyball is awarded. Question number 46, list the steps executed in the overhead pass in basketball passing skills. Here we have the stance, how you are standing. Then we have the grip, how you are holding the ball. We have preparatory step or phase. We also have the execution phase or stepping forward with the dominant foot. Then we have the follow-through phase, So those are the steps executed in the overhead pass in basketball passing skills. Question number 47. Imagine that you are going to participate in the athletic competition, long distance races. Mention two preparation strategies you would engage in. So under this one, we have the high nutrition strategies, we have the warm-up exercises, and we have the hydration exercises. But remember, in grade 9, when we're talking about long distance races, the strategies that we focus on is the endurance strategies, where we have the striding, breathing, we have the pacing, and we have the arm action. Question number 48. Identify a career that you want to pursue that is related to the study of sports. So the study of sports is a career or as a track under arts and sports. We have the sport coach, we have the sport journalist, we also have the sport director, we have sport manager, we have the umpires, we have the referees, we have sport doctors or nutritionalists, and more. So those are some of the careers related to sport. So let's go to the part of the optional questions. So the first question under optional questions is swimming, and we have been told to study the picture below. Then part A, identify the swimming technique being demonstrated. So the swimming technique is from grade 8 work. It is the backstroke swimming technique, Then you are being told to describe the arm action used in the swimming technique above. Remember, we have the arm action and we also have the breathing action. We have leg action. So here the question is about the arm action. So here, the arm is extended above your head in line with your body. Then pull it down in a circular motion, bending at the elbow. As one arm finishes its stroke, the other arm begins its stroke. Then slightly rotate your shoulder and hip with each stroke to generate more power. Then question 50, it's about the indigenous games. So it's about identify an indigenous rope game that originates from your community. So this is grade 7 work. We have bladder, we have tug of war, we have rope skipping, we have paplican, and we have swinging. Those are examples of indigenous rope games from various communities. Part B, state the steps executed when playing the rope game above. So there it depends with the response the learner has written. So how is she or he going to explain how the game is played? Part C, how is a winner arrived at in the game identified above? So if the game was tug of war, a winner is arrived at by pulling opponents across the marked line. You pull your opponent across the marked line. And if it was a game of bladder, a winner is one who jumps the highest level. The winner is one who jumps the highest level. Uh, Part 3, that's the part of visual art. It's about study the following image and use it to answer the questions that come after. So as you can study the image there, part A, it's about identify the mounting technique applied on the artwork above. So here the mounting technique is window mounting technique, window mounting technique. Then what type of artwork is this? As you see, the artwork is about drawing artwork, so it is still life composition. Still life composition, that is the artwork, still life composition. Part C, mention the drawing technique applied on the painting above to create tone and texture. So remember the drawing techniques, we have smudging technique, we have cross-hatching technique, we have stippling technique. Those are the techniques that we teach from grade 4 to grade 6. Then we also have the painting techniques. But here, the technique that was used is stippling techniques, where we are using dots to create tone and texture. Question number part D. What is the other mounting technique applied to artwork? So in artwork, we have the window mounting technique and mat mounting technique. Question number 52, on the space provided below, make a sketch of a landscape drawing for marks. So when you talk about landscape drawing, there are some features that the examiner are looking at. Remember, we have the landscape drawing and seascape drawing. So under the landscape drawing, we check on, we have the trees, we have the you can talk about hills, we can talk about mountains, you can talk about trees, buildings or houses. So it's about the landscape. So let learner not include features which are close to the sea. Features which are close to sea. If you include those features which are close to sea, you will be drawing a seascape drawing. Question number 53, differentiate between the montage and collage artworks. So here, the learners have to know the definition of montage, collage, and mosaic. So when you talk about montage, in the definition of learners, let them not miss on the terms of different cut out pictures or photos. Montage is about different cut out pictures or photos from magazines. Then on collage, we talk about different or varieties of materials. Different or varieties of materials. And when we are talking about mosaic, we talk about monomedia, use of monomedia materials to create an art composition. Question number 54. Weaving is a fabric making technique. Define the following terms as applied in weaving. So this is grade 6 and grade 9 work. So warp. Warp, we talk about threads that run vertically on a woven item. They run vertically on a woven item. Then weft are threads that run horizontally on a woven item. They run horizontally on a woven item. Then part C, mention two tools used in weaving to pass the weft threads. So one of the tool is shuttle, and not a bus. It is a tool used in weaving, but the spelling is that of the one that is used to refer to those minibuses that carry passengers, shuttle. Then we have a stick, we have needle, and we have bobbin. Those are some of the tools used in weaving to pass the weft threads. So that's the end of our today's revision session. I hope you have learned and you are going to apply what you have learned if any area on this question appeared in any of your exams. Remember to subscribe, to comment, to like, and to share. Thank you. If you have any query that is disturbing you in creative art and sport, let me know through the comment section. Thank you, and may God bless you. Let's meet next time in our next revision session.